In a pretty quiet Pennsylvania town, a discovery was made that is, well, it's hard to believe. Today, we're going to break down a case that starts in a single, ordinary home, but opens a window into a dark, hidden world. The details are pretty disturbing, so let's just jump right into it.
So this is the number that really kicks the whole thing off. Over 100 sets of human remains. And get this, they were all found inside one single house. It's a number that's tough to even wrap your head around, and it tells you right away just how grim this story is about to get.
So you have to be asking yourself, how does a discovery like this even happen? I mean, it all started when police were called to what, for all intents and purposes, looked like just another house on the block. A house that was about to become the center of a truly unbelievable investigation.
Yeah, this whole case revolves around this one house. You know, from the outside, it was just another home in a quiet neighborhood. But what the authorities found inside, well, it completely shattered that peace and started raising questions that nobody in that community had ever even thought to ask.
Local authorities actually called the find unprecedented and disturbing. Now, think about that word for a second, unprecedented. We're talking about seasoned officers here, people who have seen a lot in their careers. For them to use that kind of language, it tells you this wasn't just another crime scene, it was something completely off the charts, something they had literally never encountered before.
Okay, so a discovery of this magnitude, it immediately kicks off a massive investigation. And the first questions are always the same. How did this happen, and who is responsible for it? The process of finding those answers, it's got to be really methodical.
So the investigation followed a pretty clear path. It all started with a single report. We're not sure from who, but it was enough to get police to the scene. Once they were there, the initial investigation quickly confirmed the gruesome reality of the situation. And from that point on, every piece of evidence they gathered was just another link in a chain that would eventually lead to formal charges being filed.
And this is the question that just hangs over everything. Finding the remains, that was the what. But the absolute key to this entire case is understanding the why. Why would anyone be collecting human remains on this kind of scale? And the alleged motive, it's somehow even more disturbing than the discovery itself.
Right. According to the investigation, this wasn't some random hoarding situation or a bizarre collection. No, the alleged motive was money. Authorities believe this was all part of a trafficking operation, an illegal business built around the sale of human body parts.
So, with a crime this specific, the investigation pretty quickly narrowed its focus. You know, an operation of this nature, it usually points to a central figure, and authorities believe they've found their guy.
The focus of the entire investigation zeroed in on one person, a man living in the very same home where all the remains were found. He has now been officially charged by prosecutors, and he is right at the center of the legal proceedings, facing some incredibly serious allegations.
All right, so with the suspect charged, the case now moves into a whole new phase. This is where the full weight of the justice system comes into play, and we start to see the specific legal consequences really being laid out. So let's just quickly recap the pillars of the case here. First, formal charges are on the table. Second, the sheer volume of evidence, we're talking over 100 sets of remains, is just staggering. And third, the prosecution is locked in on a very clear motive, an illegal trafficking operation. This is really the foundation that the entire legal battle is going to be fought on.
You know, a case this extreme doesn't just exist in a vacuum. It rips the curtain back on a really disturbing reality, that there's a hidden underground trade in human remains. It forces all of us to ask some bigger questions, like how large is this black market? How does it even operate right under our noses? And maybe the most unsettling question of all is, how could something like this go on for so long? This case might be centered on one man in one house, but the questions it raises, they are far, far bigger.